Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In this video, we'll be solving example 13.2 from chapter number 13 about mutual inductance. Okay, now let's see what does example 13.2 says. Calculate the mesh currents in the circuit. So these are the two mesh currents, I1 and I2. So we have to calculate both. So let's proceed. Let's compare this with the circuit that we have solved so we know the difference between the two. In this circuit, the current I1 is flowing through this one coil and current I2 is flowing through the second coil. But in this case, it is different. I1 is flowing through this one and I2 is also flowing through this one. But I2 is also flowing through this and this. So these are called to be in series. So that is the difference, and the equations writing will be slightly different. So let's proceed. The first step is that we put the diamond signs for induced voltage, mutually induced voltages. That is our first step. And then in the second step, we write the value of the voltages as shown here. Now this value will depend on the voltage current flowing through this terminal. Current flowing through this terminal is I2. That will induce the voltage in this coil. So it will be depending on I2, but we have to multiply it with the mutual inductance value 2. So it will be J2I2. Now what about here? And whatever current is flowing through this coil, that will influence the value of the mutual voltage. Now the current here is I1 minus I2 or I2 minus I1. That could be confusing. So I have just written here that current entering the dot will be superior. Now if you see, I1 is entering the dot, so we'll take that to be greater, and I2 is actually leaving the dot. So we have to write here J2, the same mutual inductance, multiplied by I1 minus I2, not I2 minus I1. So this is very important point to keep in mind. And then the third step is that we mark the voltage signs, and that will follow the dot convention for this. Now this one is due to this. Current I2 is entering the non-dotted terminal. So non-dotted terminal of this will be positive. That means at the bottom will be positive. So we'll put a positive sign here. So positive sign here. What about this voltage? This voltage is depending on these two, and we have already mentioned that I2 is superior. I1 is superior. So I1 is entering the dot. That means the dotted side will be positive. That means the right hand side will be positive. So after having marked these, then finally we'll mark the voltages polarities in the other elements. And so depending on the current, I1 wherever it touches first, that will be positive, and same here. So this is our complete circuit. Now we are ready to write the KVL equation and solve it. Okay, so for mesh 1, we can start from any place, but I prefer to start from the left corner. So there is a minus sign, so we'll write minus 100. Since the angle is 0, so there is no need of writing that. So minus 100, 4 into I1, minus J3 into I1, so minus J3 into I1, and then J6, I1 minus I2, because we are operating in mesh 1. So I1 minus I2, and this is minus sign coming from here. We see minus sign first, so minus J2 I2. So this is our first equation. We'll actually simplify, we collect the like terms, and so this will be called now equation number 1. Similarly, in the mesh 2, we start from here, plus sign J2I. Then now we are in mesh 2, so therefore we'll write I2 minus I1 for this voltage drop. So J6 I2 minus I1, J8 I2, and this minus sign coming first, so minus J2 I1 minus I2 and plus 5 I2. So this is mesh 2. Here also we'll arrange, and arranging the value we get this equation. This is our equation number 2. So we have these two equations. Now there are several ways that you can solve. You can take of the value of I1 from here and put it in here, or you can take value of I2 from one equation, put in the other. But I think the easiest way here is to follow the matrix formation equation. So we have written it in matrix format, the magnitudes, these four, these two unknown currents, and this is the voltage sign. And if you recall, to calculate the two mesh currents, we'll be using this formula. I1 will be delta 1 divided by delta, and I2 will be delta 2 divided by delta. And now what is delta? Delta 1, delta 2. Let's see. This is delta, the determinant of this matrix. So we have just copied this here, delta. Now delta 1 is when you replace the first column with the output voltage. So delta 1 will be this one. And similarly delta 2, when you replace the second column with the voltage, that is delta 2. So replacing the second column. So these are the three deltas. Now we'll just solve. So this one you can cross multiply this and this, get this value, put it in your calculator in complex mode, and in one step you can solve instead of opening all this and then solving. Or you can convert it into polar, multiply, and all those things. Just use your calculator in complex mode. I have a video about this. Just watch that video. Okay, so the answer you will get is 92.03 angle 7097. Exactly same way we'll solve delta 1. This minus this is 0, so only this term remains, and in polar form we get the answer with the help of the calculator. And so this is the final value. I'm just matching it with the value given in the book, so there is no confusion. It's 1.5, 0.15. He has written 2. 47, he has written 0.5. Okay. Similarly, delta 2, this will be 0, so only this term left, so 80 angle 90. And now I1, delta 1 over delta, plugging in the two values, delta value and this value for delta 1 divided by delta. And again, with your calculator, straight away you get angle 20.3, angle 3.5 ampere. And similarly, I2, putting in the value of delta 2 and delta, this is I2. So I hope you have been able to follow this, and if you do follow the right steps, it will be no problem in solving this type of a question. Thank you.